am making homemade sopapillas, and I have my hot water, my warm water in here. And I am going to let my yeast proof. Now, I put 1 3/4 cups of water in here because I am going to just use my dry milk because I just need to use it up. I am adding my sugar in so that my yeast will proof quicker. And my dry milk. Get little lumps, just break them up just like that, or you can whisk them, whichever you'd like to do. Just break them up with the back of my spoon. Okay, now we're gonna let that proof. Okay, so I don't think I got my water hot enough. My yeast is barely proofing, so what I did was I put a little bit of hot water, 115 degrees, warm water, not hot, with a little bit of extra yeast and sugar there. I just made some more yeast. It's fine. It's just gonna make just a few more sopapillas, so it's not a big deal. And salt. And my shortening, which will help make them fluffier. You can use butter if you want, but shortening's better. And then my flour. All right, I'm gonna mix this. All right, guys. Before I move on, this recipe is in our Dining on a Dime cookbook on page 120 right there. You can see that was my mom's recipe card right there. See mom's recipe card? Okay, now we're gonna get some flour in here. Now, this does make a lot of sopapillas. I mean, about 20 or 30, depending on how big you make them. But you can half this recipe if you want, or you can make half a batch and save the dough and the oil for another day if you want. So that is totally fine too. Oops, I think I got too much flour. Not sure on that. Okay. So now we're gonna need and then we are going to let this rest. I did not get too much flour, yay. Then we're going to let this dough rest for an hour after I have kneaded it. Let it get all nice and poofy. And then we will fry our sopapillas. It's a birthday today, and we had this request for our birthday dinner. This is a favorite recipe of my kids. They love it. My mom makes sopapillas. Okay, I probably need a 1/4 cup more flour, but I think I'm just gonna sneak by and see if I can get by without having to run downstairs to get some. Do I need you to taste test the sopapillas?
Yes.
He wants to know. Mr. Birthday Boy wants to know.
Professional taste tester?
I probably do need a professional taste tester. It's gonna be
taste buds are perfectly trained to only take the highest quality sopapillas.
Your taste buds are perfectly trained to only take the highest quality sopapillas, huh?
Yep.
I see. That's what happens when you turn 15.
No, that's what happens when you have a mother who cooks as well as she does.
Aww, did you hear that? That's what happens when he has a mother who cooks as well as she does. Aw, thanks. All right, I was able to get by without more flour. And so we are going to squirt our bowl, oil it, and oil the top, and let this rise for an hour. I did turn the oven on, and I'm gonna let it rise in about 110-degree oven just to make it go just a little bit quicker. Okay, so I've got my trusty frying pan. My sopapillas have risen. I am adding in my oil, and I'm going to use my thermometer to make sure my heat is at least 385 degrees. Just gonna put the lid on so it'll get hot faster. While that's getting hot, I am going to roll out my dough to get started. So just get a hunk of dough, just however much you want. Doesn't have to be a lot. That's way too much flour. Spread it out and bring it in as I need it. Okay, then I'm going to roll it out, just like this. Now, you want it about a ½ inch. That was way too thin there. So, oh, here it is. Okay, cut. Just like so. All right, here's a little tip. My honey has crystallized. So what I did was I cut the bottom of the big honey jug off, and I'm gonna put all of my honey in here and melt it down, and then I'm gonna save this and wash it and use it to set my honey jar on, so when it drips, I don't have a big mess to clean in my cabinet. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in my pan in the oven after I've cooked them, just to keep them warm on low, like 120 degrees, 170 degrees. All right, here we go. My temperature is 390, so I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. And we're gonna put our first one in and hope they poof. We want them to poof. Please poof. They're not poofing. Oh dear. We need them just a little bit thinner. No, they're not poofing. Why aren't they poofing? Okay, I'm gonna do them just a little bit thinner. So I need it just a little bit thinner. It's always so hard to estimate how thin or thick you're gonna need them, but it's all right, it just takes practice. Okay, these bottom ones will be my families. Cinnamon and sugar. Then let your heat get back up in between batches if it starts getting too low. Yeah, now it's getting a little low, so I'm gonna let it heat back up again. Camera. Okay. Is it Sopapilla
That's pretty
perfection?
good. That's Sopapilla perfection.
Is that worthy of the birthday dinner? Yay, good.